We're back in the garden at the Smithfield Inn with Russell Parrish. We're talking about Smithfield in Bloom, a new program that's going to come to judging in just a few weeks. Tell us a little bit about who Smithfield is competing against in this competition.
We are in the 8,000 to 13,000 population group, and that changes every year depending on which towns and cities enter. So they manipulate it a little bit every year. So this year, and we even know the sequence, Tarboro, North Carolina is the first visit on our judges' stop, and then they come to Smithfield. So they're going to be driving up from Tarboro. A couple of weeks later, they go and visit Coshocton, Ohio. And the last one is, I believe it's Providence, Indiana.
Oh wow, so all over the country. So
they're going all over the country, and there are larger towns and cities that are involved in this process. I don't know if we're the smallest in this particular year's set of judging criteria, but we're one of the smallest. And within our own criteria, I think we are pretty much the smallest. It's 8,000 and we have just under 9,000 residents here, according to the 2010 census. So we are encouraged by the fact that we're small. We have so many things ready in play, brand new. I mean, it's just the dust is going to be clean off of everything. And a week after they come is the grand reopening of Smithfield. So the whole town is going to be about as pretty as we could make it. New shops are going to be open. New stores are going to be renovated. We've got the park, the Windsor Castle Park, and all of its myriads of activities and opportunities are available. And I think that we're going to showcase this place in a magnificent way. And part of the goal for me, that I haven't even mentioned to anybody, was the fact that someday I think it would be great to have the symposium, award symposium, back actually here in Smithfield.
Oh, that would be great. Where did you say it is this year?
This year it's going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Okay. Fayetteville was an entrant last year, and I believe a successful winner and in a category or two. And so September 20th through the 22nd, the symposium is going to be there. And it's open to everybody. So if anybody wants more information on that, they can go to americainbloom.org on the website and then get an incredible amount of information on both what we're doing here and the symposium, that they can certainly come and see, hopefully see us win multiple awards.
Well, I did go to that website myself to do a little research, and it was fun to see Smithfield, Virginia on there. But I noticed that they also give you a lot of examples of past entries, which I thought would be very helpful. I suppose you have studied some of those things. And
they have some best ideas.
Yes, yes.
And they even have some books that published best ideas. And we provided a few copies of those books for our leadership program to get the ball rolling. And I think the leadership program was amazed at how many things that we already do. And that was sort of, one of those things that reinforced the effort and made it easy for them to convince the town that we're already doing these things. And in fact, one of the town councilmen mentioned to me the other day, he said, how are we going to pay for this continuing effort? And once I brought him up to speed on this and told him that we already do these things, we're not doing anything out of the ordinary particularly. We have groups that do different things and growing organizations that do things. But right now, what we do has a wonderful mix of community efforts, environmental awareness, and you mentioned the categories, and that goes from the turf and ground covers up at the golf course to everything going at Windsor Castle Park, including the little doggy bags available for your dog when you're walking them around the park. All of those things are environmental awareness and the community engagement. And just yesterday I went for a little walk up at the park, and there was a club up there, I think it was one of the pet sitter clubs, doing dog training in the dog park. And it's, everything is becoming, it's a passive park, but it's also an active park. It depends on how everybody wants to use it and engage it. I know my wife goes running up there for a couple times a week with some groups, and several people are always.
It's a wonderful park.
It's a magnificent park, and it's not the only park that we have here.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that heritage preservation also was one of the criteria, and I thought immediately of the old courthouse and other things in town that.
The heritage preservation category of this process, it was the easiest one.
Yeah.
The hardest part of it was documenting all of the things that we do and trying to make sure we didn't leave anything out, of which I know we did. So we are going to make sure that they understand the history of the ham industry, the history of the agriculture. We have the museum right here, a block away. We have wonderful old buildings that are being restored in this moment. We have buildings that have been restored in the past with the courthouse, etc. All of that's historic preservation. The festivals that we have, the Olden Day Festival coming up, the Town and Country Days Festival, all of those festivals celebrate our heritage in this particular part of Hampton Roads. And while they won't be here, the judges won't be here when some of those occur, we're going to provide them with so much information. They're going to want to come back and not judge, but hopefully bring their families and hopefully bring the symposium back, because we have just that many things going on. And part of that is partnership with Isle of Wight County. And you know, Smithfield is very fortunate to be part of Isle of Wight County. And so there is a cross-pollination of resources, which is ideal for everything that Smithfield does and that Isle of Wight County does. So when Smithfield wins this, Isle of Wight County wins too. And everybody, of course, in the community.
Everybody wins, yes, I think.
So,
well, and what about the landscaping and the actual blooming part? What have you done to encourage people to kind of spruce up and plant and do that kind of thing?
We've raised awareness. What we have done with our committee, our American Bloom Committee, and that's involved with business leaders, that's involved with Girl Scout leaders, master gardeners, the naturalists know what's going on program. Who else do we have? The Women's Club, all these different groups. They're like our word of mouth, and so they've been also getting the word out that clean up, make sure we plant an extra. If you plant a flower in your whether it's your house or it's your business, plant an extra one. Clean up, maintain, just make sure things are about as good as we can get them. If an extra little coat of paint, touch up here. If you can do it, if you can afford it, great. If not, just make sure, at the very least, trash is picked up, because it's all about pride in your community. And the community involvement doesn't have to be great. I've got my daughter now taking a walk in the evening, and when she sees a piece of trash on the side of the road, she's picking it up. In fact, she's making me stop my car if I'm bringing her home from daycare to pick up trash she sees on the road. So everybody can play a part, no matter where you exist in this community. So, and that's part of the goal that we have from now until the judges and beyond the judges leave, is just pride in your community.
Right, because it's not just a one-time thing, it's a continual thing. But I wanted to ask you, I know it's a competition, what can you win?
What can you win? Well, it's funny, I went on the website, I was revisiting the website because they keep adding different ways you can win. What I consider one of the biggest awards is the overall winner of your particular category size, your population size. And that's for all of the different categories. Within all of the towns of all sizes, you can win category awards like best turf and ground covers, best heritage preservation, best floral displays, things of that nature. And in fact, they encourage you to nominate yourself if you think you really have a strong, category criteria in place, to go ahead and nominate yourself. And we're going to consider that. I think the committee is going to consider doing that this year. Our heritage preservation here in town and on the outskirts of town are just phenomenal. And I think part of our struggle has been trying to keep out of our community profile things like St. Luke's Church and the forts that are right here, right on the perimeter, because we're supposed to focus right on the town.
Right.
But they're right there where you can touch them.
So you can mention them anyway.
We're going to mention them, and when they come and judge us, we probably, if we have time, I'm going to show them just a couple, because they're right there, and we all take ownership of those particular facilities, and they've undergone through wonderful enhancements over the past year or two, especially St. Luke's. So we want to educate our judges that this area is, it's the town of Smithfield, but oh my goodness, the resources that are right beyond it and even out beyond there.
And then
phenomenal.
They have an overall winner too. They have categorical winners and then an overall winner.
Categorical winners, and they also have a community champion award called the John Holmes III Community Champion Award. They encourage towns to nominate someone for this, and it's an individual that's been volunteering over the course of whatever years that you want to sort of, I guess, recognize him. But and it's somebody that's been involved with beautification and community involvement and efforts that lead to the overall beautification of town and pride in the community. And so we're working on that right now, and I'm encouraging the town. I haven't lived here as long as several of the people that are in town have, so I want some of the people that have been here before me to really look at that particular category, and we should win something there. We have so many wonderful volunteers that are putting time into not just this effort, but all efforts over the course of the years. And hopefully I'm one of those 50 years from now, but we want to win on multiple levels, and we can win. We're confident.
And I guess when you win, it's a good thing to put in your marketing materials and all that kind of thing.
Oh, well, you can imagine our tourism is just happy as can be, and the Chamber of Commerce should take pride in the fact that they've spearheaded this effort over the course of a couple years and led this effort. And the town, of course, is just, they could just sort of be gleaming at that awards ceremony.
And that's in September. You'll find out whether you win in September, is that right?
Yeah, I was hoping that I would get some information that they would encourage a bigger constituency to go to Fayetteville, because they might know that we're going to win something, but they said, no, just send everybody, Well,
that's good.
They give you the words of encouragement that, well, based on what you have on your website already, there's no reason why you shouldn't come away with some kind of award. Well, wait till they see what we're going to provide them. So I think.
Well, if people want to find out more about Smithfield and Bloom, where can they find it out? They can go to AmericanBloom.com.
They can go to AmericanBloom.org. And they can contact the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is where we've been doing most of our community, or I'll say the steering committee work efforts. And Connie Rhodes at the Chamber can certainly answer most of their questions and put her in contact directly with me. And we still need a bigger committee. So it's funny, but we started with a goal of committee of about 3, and now we're a huge committee, and lots of people doing different things that can't make the committee meetings, but we know they're out there doing things.
That's great.
So,
well, I wish you the best of luck. Of course, I think we should win every prize, every category, but we'll see how it goes. I like your enthusiasm. I think if that has anything to do with it, then we'll win for sure.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you having me today.
Thank you for talking to us, and thank you for watching.